you all for today's event on Rendezvous with Entrepreneurs 2021. If you fail, never give up. If you fail, never give up, because fail means first attempt in learning. And end is not the end. In fact, end means effort never dies. By this inspiring quote by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, let us begin today's program with an invocation hymn from Chinmay of final year BCom.
ಕರಿಮುಖ ಗಣಪ ಕರುಣನೆ ನೋಡೋ ಕರಿಮುಖ ಗಣಪ ಕರುಣನೆ ನೋಡೋ ಗೌರಿ ತನಯ ಪರಿಪಾಲಿಸೋ ಕರಿಮುಖ ಗಣಪ ಕರುಣನೆ ನೋಡೋ ದುರಿತಗಳೆಲ್ಲವನು ತರಿದೋಡಿಸಯ್ಯ ದುರಿತಗಳೆಲ್ಲವನು ತರಿದೋಡಿಸಯ್ಯ ಸರಿದಾರಿದೋಗಿ ಮುನ್ನಡೆಸಯ್ಯ ಕರಿಮುಖ ಗಣಪ ಕರುಣನೆ ನೋಡು ನಿನ್ನಾಶ್ರಯವಿದ್ದರೆ ಬೇಗ ನಿವಾರಣೆ ನಿನ್ನನು ಮರೆತರೆ ವಿದ್ಯೆ ನಿವಾರಣೆ ನಿನ್ನಾಶ್ರಯವಿದ್ದರೆ ಬೇಗ ನಿವಾರಣೆ ವಿದ್ಯೆ ನಿವಾರಣೆ ಮನ್ನಿಸಿ ಸಲಹೆನ್ನ ಏಕದಂತನೇ ಮನ್ನಿಸಿ ಸಲಹೆನ್ನ ಏಕದಂತನೇ ಗನ್ನ ಮಹಿಮನೆ ಗುರುದಾಸ ರಕ್ಷಕನೇ ಮನ್ನಿಸಿ ಸಲಹೆನ್ನ ಏಕದಂತನೇ ಗನ್ನ ಮಹಿಮನೆ ಗುರುದಾಸ ರಕ್ಷಕನೇ ಕರಿಮುಖ ಗಣಪ ಕರುಣನೆ ನೋಡು ಕರುಣನೆ ನೋಡು.
Thank you, Chinmay. Welcome the tasks that makes you go beyond yourself. Now I call upon Ashwini Kamala of final year BCom to welcome the gathering.
The world is full of diamonds and gems, and we having some of them here today to build this event. I, Ashwini Kamala of final year BCom, welcome you all for today's session on Rendezvous with Entrepreneurs 2021. I would like to welcome all the dignitaries for today's session. Firstly, I extend a warm welcome Dr. Jacob Drasta, founder and chairman of CM Enviro System Private Limited for the session. A hearty welcome to you, sir. I welcome Mrs. Chaya Nanzappa, a successful women entrepreneur and founder and managing partner of Nectar Fresh for the session. A genial welcome to you, ma'am. I welcome Mr. Munli, founder and promoter of Foodbox for the session. A cheerful welcome to you, sir. I welcome Mrs. Soumya Idappa K, principal of Shishatripuram Degree College, Mysore. I welcome you, ma'am. I welcome all the teaching and non-teaching staff for the program. I also welcome all my dear friends for the session. A good event never ends in the world. They take only a pause and keep us waiting for the next. With this thought, once again I welcome one and all.
Ashwini. If you light the lamp of someone else's life, it will also brighten your path. Now I request all the dignitaries to light the lamp and inaugurate today's program. Thank you all. A woman is powerful beyond measure and beautiful beyond description. Now I call upon Sudharma Kashyap of final year BCom to introduce our guest, Mrs. Chaya Nanjappa.
Good morning, one and all. We are honored and privileged to have amongst us a very special guest who is a source of inspiration for many women entrepreneurs. It's none other than Mrs. Chaya Nanjappa. She is an inspiration for many women entrepreneurs. She is a profound inventor who is committed towards social responsibilities. Being resilient, she has become one of India's prominent women entrepreneurs. Chaya Nanjappa is an award-winning first-generation women rural entrepreneur with her experience spanning all nuances of food production from farm to fork. She is founder and managing partner of brand Nectar Fresh, and her unit is Kadi and Village Bird-backed rural enterprise that has been empowering the rural and tribal folk as well as the small farmers. One can feel the celebration of synergy between nature and farmers by experiencing the diversified product like natural coffee, locally grown cheese seeds, and flax seeds, apple cider vinegar, mother vinegar, and high quality spices from Nectar Fresh brand. All her products are currently meeting the best of international standards and take forward Make in India mission ahead. Her brand Nectar Fresh has been first brand in India to be using the women-owned logo of WeConnect. She has received many prestigious industries awards such as honorary recognitions from various government and private institutions such as winner of Best Entrepreneur Award in field of food processing from Confederation of Women Entrepreneurs of India 2013-14. Winner of Priyadarshini Award 2015-16, winner of Laghu Udyog Bharati Women Entrepreneur of the Year, winner of Federation of Karnataka Chambers of Commerce and Industry Award 2014-15, and many more. She is an excellent orator and she has given talks at various forums like Indian Science Congress, Indian Delegation to Cardiff, UK, South Asian Women Development Forum, and Central Food and Technological Research Institution as a source person and guest speaker. And now I would request Mrs. Chaya Nanjappa Madam to address the gallery.
Namaste, everyone. A pleasure of mine being with you all today. Respected dignitaries and dear students. Well, maybe 10 minutes of my talk, if it could inspire maybe around 10 of you all to become entrepreneurs, then the effort taken by my end will be worth it. Why I would say effort is I reached literally at 2 o'clock in the morning from Bangalore. Then I thought, just like I had confirmed it to sir, I have to be on time. And that's why it's a pleasure being with you all. Well, let me speak to you about my journey as a rural social entrepreneur. Why I would want to, like I always say, I speak from the heart is because I always say if I can do it, if I could do it, any one of you can. Down in my life, I had two options. Either I could have been dependent on my parents, or I could have become independent and taken forward the vision of supporting the underprivileged. I chose the second option. I had to discontinue my studies pretty early due to circumstances, because back then you never asked your parents when alliances happened. So a particular down in my life, I had to start my life afresh. So that is when I thought of honey. And people asked me, why did I consider honey? To be honest, I didn't know anything else. My homeland cook was back then known for honey. So I thought the quality was deteriorating. So let me procure the finest honey and supply to the local market. That's the only thing I was aware of, the only product I was aware of. But from day one, I was very sure of one particular aspect. That is, I always believed in consistent quality and ethics in life. I think today, whatever little growth I've had, I owe it to these factors: ethics in business and quality. So I was not even good at, using the system. I went to a cyber cafe, learned the basics, and then got to know that CBRTI in Pune would give the basic training when it comes to the field of honey. I'm talking of 12 years back. I went there, and then I get to know that my unit comes under the Khadi and Village Industries Commission. It is considered as a cottage industry. I become part of them, and when you set up an enterprise in rural Bharat, you might not be able to get grants, you might not be able to get schemes, because there are a lot of challenges, especially when you set it up in rural India. Back then I set it up at Munli in Bangalore. It was not what it is today. It was still a village environment out there. Considering my budget, I set it up there. I don't come from a marketing background. I had to discontinue my studies very early. And at this low phase in my life, I lost my father. So I didn't have any mentor either. I set this up from scratch. And currently, it gives me an overwhelming feeling to be considered a pioneer in quality honey in the country. From a capacity of around, I would say, 100 kilos a month, I would always think, how could I sell 100 kilos a month? From that to our current capacity that we are enhancing to 1,200 tons a month, I think it's been a journey that's been worthwhile. We are currently supporting around 500 farmers, and we have transformed their lives. Children are getting good education. Their social environment has changed, and the current capacity and upgradation of our technology might take this support to around 800 to 900 small farmers and tribals. When I set this up at Bomanhalli, I always thought, I knew the limitation of my budget. I always tell entrepreneurs, think differently, be innovative. I knew that I could not compete the retail giants in the country. They had a lot of funds with them. They could play with marketing. I decided, let my quality speak for my product. People laughed when I said I will replace the foreign brands in India's high-end market. They said what the major brands could not do. How can a Khadi and village industries back social enterprise with a team of uneducated rural folk? How can they ever replace it? My first hotel I replaced was the Le Meridian in Bangalore. Currently, Nectar Fresh is supplied to around 400 hotels across India. And we took out the 20-year-old monopoly of foreign brands in India's five-star hotels. Today, when the ministry, the senior ministers like Nitin Gadkari ji calls a small-scale social enterprise, and some of the most senior secretaries sitting in the ministry call us, it is indeed overwhelming. Like I often say, an extremely gratifying and satisfying moment that a team that has all its members in the production, I would say, department with an uneducated ones. They are either undereducated or uneducated, but today they have been given skill development to manufacture products that are world class. So as I was growing in Bangalore, a situation came in my life when I had to relocate to Mysore. People said that's the end of the brand. You know, if she's coming down to Mysore, then logistics is a problem. She loses her team whom she had given skill development, and then marketing is gonna be an issue. But I thought if someone who was not confident to sign a check and without a mentor or guidance could start a business from scratch and get into the high-end market, well, I could survive anywhere. So we relocated to Mysore, and with the growth in Mysore, we were in a rented place. Then we thought that is where I met my husband Rajappa. We think similarly in all aspects about giving back to society. So that is when we decided we will have a farm gate processing unit so that we could support a lot of farmers. So that is where now you can notice the small Nectar Fresh unit between Srirangapatna and Mysore. From the growth of honey, we thought of supporting small farmers. Many of them had a lot of loans and they had to take some very sad decisions. So currently we support more than 100 small farmers, and we are the largest manufacturers of jams without preservative, colors or flavors. All our products are synonymous with health and wellness. So with our jams, we thought we should support many more farmers. So to give them additional source of income, we became one of the largest buyers of superfoods like chia, flax in the country today. So with the growth of chia and flax, we started, this additional support to the farmers gave them better income and it changed their living standards tremendously. And after that, we started promoting coffee without chicory. We started creating awareness that the stronger your coffee, it's the manufacturer who's making money out of it. Because during the World War, India could not afford natural coffee. That's when chicory came in as an adulterant. So we started, promoting natural coffee. And currently, we have silently grown to become one of the largest supplier of apple cider and mother vinegar, supporting a large group of small farmers, even in Kashmir. For us, it is a humbling moment that the small-scale social unit in a place called Naguvanhalli is supporting farmers until Kashmir. And why I said your ethics and quality in business can not just help you sustain your business, but it can help you grow is because during COVID, Nectar Fresh grew beyond our expectation. If you ask me why, I tell you, people suddenly became aware of quality products. That is when they realized that is something so vital, there's something so vital to what we consume. And brands like Nectar Fresh grew beyond our expectations. So during the COVID phase, I realized, me and my husband decided that most of our workforce, they could not afford to take to take places outside for rental. So that is when we built accommodation for our staff, and currently around 40 of them can reside inside Nectar Fresh. And along with this, we expanded and diversified into varied other products. We will be launching our peanut butter in a fortnight's time, and we would be launching jaggery chickpeas because we wanted to support our Mandya's farmers. So along with that, what we did, in front of Nectar Fresh, we knew it was one of the prime area. Nectar Fresh could be one of, I would say, very primely located right now because it's on the Mysore-Bangalore highway. So we constructed one of the biggest destination store for tribal artisans in the country. The construction is completely over. 2 months from now, we will be inaugurating it of eco-friendly, sustainable products. This shall support around 3,000 minimum tribals across the country. There was a time in my life when materialistic things gave me enormous satisfaction. I can tell you today, there can't be a bigger satisfaction in life than giving back to society and seeing happiness when other people are satisfied and happy. This is with our personal experience today, our priorities have changed, and what I would request all of you all, because you are the future of Bharat, and what I would say is, you might go out for your studies, but please come back to your own country and give back to the country of yours. If a rural social entrepreneur like me have been chosen by APO Japan as one of their most important resource person, if I have dared to travel to Afghanistan to inspire women there, I think you all can do wonders because you have had the opportunity of having better education. And my personal experience tells me nothing is impossible ever. It is all about hard work, passion, dedication, and giving your 100%. What I've also noticed is the younger generation looks at having success instantaneously. Something that happens overnight, take my words, you shall never sustain it. It's my 13th year in the field, and every penny we earn, we are putting it back to society. And when people ask me or speak about the journey of Nectar Fresh, I say that it is only about hard work, and hard work with good quality and ethics in business. I think these three are the main aspects that you have to consider in your growth, not just in your business or anything you do. With these words, I think I should give you more time to speak, to ask questions so I can answer your queries. A pleasure again being with you all, and thank you for giving me an opportunity to be amidst you all. Dhanyavad, namaste. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your life experience and inspiring us. It takes great courage to grow up and become who you really are. Now I call upon Rakshita MS of final year BCA to introduce our next guest, Dr. Jacob Krishna.
Good morning, all. I am profusely overjoyed to take this opportunity to introduce our next chief guest of the day, Dr. Jacob Krishna. Dr. Jacob Krishna is an epitome of the ambitious corporate world which always acts along with the social interests. Sir is an institutional builder who is very diverse, accommodative, and pragmatic in his practices and methods of executions. Way back in 1981, Dr. Jacob Christa founded CME Equipment and Instruments Private Limited to manufacture laboratory equipments for R&D and quality control laboratories. After globalization and liberalization of Indian economy, the growing demand for quality, reliability testing of products manufactured across India presented a promising business opportunity. This potential was realized by Dr. Jacob Christa, a visionary who started his career in marketing of scientific equipment in the laboratory market of India. That was the beginning of the remarkable success story that CME is today. What essentially began as a laboratory product manufacturer has grown at a phenomenal pace over the years. Today, CME is one of the fastest growing environment testing chamber manufacturers in the Indian subcontinent. In fact, CME has earned itself an enviable reputation of being amongst the most reliable manufacturers of environmental test chambers in the country. The CME family, under the able leadership of Dr. Jacob Christa, has grown from strength to strength, always innovating and adding value to its ever-growing array of world-class products and living up to the trust and satisfaction of its customers. CME Group is today globally recognized as one of the leading manufacturers and exporters. Dr. Jacob Christa is the recipient of many awards, and some of the noteworthy are as follows. On 2nd of December 2016, the Society of Indian Aerospace Technologies and Industries awarded him Stati Award as Lifetime Achievement. On 24th September 2016, CCCI Mumbai conferred Dr. Christa with Industry Excellence Award. Federation of Konkani Catholic Association on 1st of February 2015 conferred an award called Professional Excellence Award. On 21st of June 2014, Vijayanagar Sri Krishnadevaraya University, Bellary, conferred honorary doctorate degree. Dr. Jacob Christa, apart from being a distinguished industrialist, also holds several notable positions in various prestigious organizations and trade bodies of India. We are privileged to have Dr. Jacob Christa with us today, and I would like to welcome Dr. Jacob Christa on stage and request him to share his precious thoughts by addressing the gathering. Thank you.
Thank you, Rakshita, for introducing me to the audience here and the students specifically. ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ವೇದಿಕೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಇರುವ ನಮ್ಮ ಶೇಷಾದ್ರಿಪುರಂ ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಕಾಲೇಜಿನ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ ಆದ ಸೌಮ್ಯ ಅವರೇ, ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ಯಾನಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಷನ್ಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಇರುವ ಬಹಳ ಸುಂದರವಾದ ವಿಮೆನ್ ಎಂಟರ್ಪ್ರಿನ್ಯೂರ್ ಆಗಿ ಬಹಳ ಅವಾರ್ಡ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಗಳಿಸಿದ ಛಾಯಾ ನಂಜಪ್ಪನವರೇ, ಅವರಿಗೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಎರಡು ಚಪ್ಪಾಳೆ. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಗ್ಲೋಬಲ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಗೆ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಡಾಬರ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಶ್ರೀ ನಮ್ಮ ನಮ್ಮ ಪತಂಜಲಿ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಅದೆಲ್ಲಕ್ಕೆ ಕಂಡೆಮ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದರ ಮಿಶ್ರಣ ಮಾಡಿ ಇವರದ್ದು ನೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಫ್ರೆಶ್ ಆಗಿ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಮಧುರಾಣಿಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದೆರಡು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಸೌಮ್ಯ ಸಾರಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಮುರಳಿ ಪುಂಡನವರಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ಯಾನೆಲ್ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಿ ಇವತ್ತು ನಾವು ಏನು ಈ ಒಂದು ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ಅನ್ನ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀವೋ, Rendezvous with students. Do you all know the reason or the meaning of rendezvous? In English, it is called Rendezvous. In Kannada, it is called Rendezvous. But in English, it is pronounced as rendezvous. And what is the meaning of rendezvous?
It's a meeting. Correct.
meeting in a particular place. That means you are today meeting in this hall with the entrepreneurs here, 3 entrepreneurs here, and you are trying to study or learn how they have started an enterprise, right? And Chaya has already told you how she has prospered from as a woman entrepreneur, especially from the rural area, from the Kadi, Ramadeo area, where it is really nice that women entrepreneurs are coming out with such kind of shining globally. It is like a jewel. If the jewels are put in a necklace, it becomes a beautiful necklace, right? So, and women always, they are called colorful, right? Why they are colorful? Because God has created them colors. But the only problem in our society is they have not been given the right choices and the right opportunity when compared to the boys from the childhood. When a boy goes out, doesn't matter. But a girl, when he goes out, oh no, you mustn't do this. You should not do that. You should not do that, right? It is from the childhood parents are taught to the women. That's why, by and large, although we have 49.5% of our population are women, we have not given them an opportunity. And out of that, if Chaya has come out with such kind of enterprise, it requires 7 more clubs. Fine. Now, when it's a rendezvous with an entrepreneur, I am also an entrepreneur for the last 45 years. Probably you are all not born. But how we started is a beautiful story, and it's a fact. It's not a story or thing. It is a fact. Fact in which I have traveled the entire route of entrepreneurship and globally now acclaimed industry which we have delivered is because of the efforts which we have put in. There is always been said, everybody has a brain, right? How some are bright, some are dull, correct? I think your faculty members say, hey, he's a dull student, right? I would like to warn these faculty members who are saying, don't call them dull students. Because globally, the owners of the industry these are the so-called dull students who take 35%, 45% marks and become the owners of the industry and give the job for such kind of rank holders as a manager. So every college, I tell them, and I'm a board member in both universities, I tell them, don't ever call them dull students, but tomorrow they are going to start an entrepreneur and an enterprise and an industry, and you others, all bright students, get a job there. So don't ever call them dull students. Take, for example, Bill Gates, right? Richest person in the world. What is his qualification? I thought sound is coming from somewhere else. What is his qualification? 800 fame. Right? Bill Gates. You take, say, Ambani Group. They say Dhirubhai Ambani. You don't know SNC. So the tycoons of the so-called industry or industrialist or the group company owner, they are not highly educated. That means for an enterprise, you don't require a highly qualified enterprise. And Chad has already proved it. You don't require. So why do you require education? To have knowledge. To have knowledge. Knowledge you don't get others, otherwise with the knowledge, you get the knowledge. Google it. You get anything and everything. It is an interest what you have to have. What you want to be. You want to score high class, high percentage, 85%, 95%, 99%, or 99.9%. Still your parents will say, what is this 99.9%? You have to study hard. Go to the tuition class and study, right? This is the standard in which we are talking about. No, that is not required for you all. What is required for you all is, if you really want to enterprise, and today you're meeting the Rendezvous with the entrepreneurs who have not, of course, although I've done my post-graduation here from Mysore University, I'll tell you later why, what is that. But for the enterprise, you don't require to have all that. You don't require to have mug up. Makki coffee and pass first class. You have to learn, study, to, as rightly stated, improve your knowledge. And add your knowledge to your passion or the talent what you have. Even Sachin Tendulkar, his father did not allow him to play cricket. You know that? He wanted him to play football. Whereas what Sachin Tendulkar is to do without the notice of his father is to go and play cricket. And today is a god of cricket. What is that indicates to you? That means in what you have an interest, in what in it you like it better, nourish it, nurture it, and get moving on that. Don't look back. Don't think that, oh, somebody has failed in that kind of industry. Sorry. If anybody starts any industry, just because, oh, that fellow is started, so I will start, trust me, will not survive. Trust me, will not survive. Person who is passionate about the product, passionate about his vision, passionate about in what he wants to do, he only can survive. And that is the enterprise, and that is entrepreneurship. It is not monkey coffee. It is your own study, it is your own effort. And this is how you can become an entrepreneur. So now I would like to ask all of you, how many are planning to start enterprise after you come out of this college? Raise your hand. How many want to start enterprise? Only one? Hello? So what is that I am talking to you? Bible? Purana? Bhagavad Gita? If you don't want to start enterprise, then why do you want to have a rendezvous with an entrepreneurs here? Okay. I'll ask after my talk. Let me ask. Let me tell you what is that required to start an enterprise. Let me tell you my own story or a history or a facts. I'm also hailing from a village called Pinnigodi, which is about 35 kilometers away from Bangalore. Those were the days where there was no electricity, there was no power, so that's electricity. There were no papers, there was no radio, there was no mobile in any way. There was nothing for you to learn. Go to school, come back, and there was agriculture. I used to do agriculture. I have done that agriculture. And that's how I have grown. But then I was a little different person when compared to all my cousins. Compared to all my father's side or mother's side, there were about 9 girls of my age. And I was only one. So my grandmother, my mother's mother, whenever I used to go to the house, and why I used to go to house is because in my whole family, nobody was educated, including my mother. So how will I study? If you don't have anybody to teach you how to do your homework, teach you, how will you study? So I was to always weekends on a holiday is to run to my mother's place. Because there my two cousins were studying SLC and PUC. So I had to study from him. By looking at that, my grandmother used to say, see, look at that, all your cousins, they are not studying, but how nicely you are studying. So study hard, become a big man. So this was the statement even today lingering in my ears, my grandmother. She was my motivator. Because of her saying, yes, I must become a big man. I compare to all. So I used to study very hard. So then, okay, education is done, over. I was also not a bright student like a rank holder and all. I was average 50-60%, fine. But my vision was different. Something to do something differently. Then what do you do something differently? Yeah, after SLC, PUC is done, graduation is done. Then luckily I got a post-graduation in Mysore, Mansamuthi. Here, I'm a product of Mansamuthi. Organic chemistry, specialized in alkaloids, terpenoids, and steroids. So if at all I had to start an enterprise, I had to start a chemical factory. How to start a chemical factory? If at all I have to start alkaloids to manufacture, I can do it. I have the technology, I have the process, but how to start? Then, since I was the eldest in the family, I had two brothers and two sisters. I have to educate them because my dad was in the Air Force. Once in a year, he used to come home and used to give us all his dhyan, what he used to have in the military. So we are as a son of military man, always up, right, always. So here, why I have to go for employment immediately is because I have to look after my two brothers and two sisters and something to send to my family home. So immediately I got a lecturer post because I was MSc. I was giving a lecture on chemistry. But I gave a lecture in 2 years, but got fed up. This is not my future. Why? Because there were 2 hours lectures and 4 hours practical in chemistry. What do you do in the rest of the hour? So I said, this is not good. I never wanted to spend my time on Brigade Road and MG Road and go to the pub culture and all that because fast salary was there and all that. No, that was not my aim. I wanted to do something career building exercise. To do what? Then I said, no, this is not the way. So I went to Bombay. In Bombay, my uncle's brother was staying in the same flat where my earlier boss was also staying. He introduced me. So they were manufacturing laboratory equipment. Then I said, wow, this is what I must go ahead and try and do it. Because laboratory equipment, so I have used during my post-graduation in the laboratory. So laboratory equipment is, but yes, let me study, learn more. Like the ovens, incubators, stirrers, centrifuges, muffled furnace. All these are laboratory equipment we are manufacturing here in Mumbai. So boss saw me up and down. Oh, you are a lecturer in Bangalore. How much salary you are getting? So 1,400, sir. This is salary in 1974. 1,400. Oh, I can't pay 1,400. If you want the job, join. Tomorrow onwards, I'll give 500. If I had not taken that job, 1,400 rupees salary as a lecturer in Mumbai for 500 rupees salary. If I had not taken today, I would not have been. See the decisions what you make in your life. What decision you make in your life at what time, period of time. So with that 500, because why I joined? Because I wanted to learn. I wanted to study. So because I was, then immediately I was put in the marketing. So in marketing, because generally first you learn marketing. Even if you want to enterprise, how to market your product. Because if you can produce, technology is available, people are available, everything is available, but how do you market your product? Because when you manufacture, you have to market, you have to get money. So I first got trained up in marketing. I used to get 30 to 35 people as a customer I used to contact. with that kind of enthusiasm to meet and have challenges with the customer, 30 to 35 customers, catching the local train by bus. That was another challenging situation where my boss appreciated. So within 3 months, I covered the entire Bombay, Tatara Road, Bombay Kulshet Road, Bombay, Thane, entire area I covered up. So 30 to 35 clients. But then we thought, if this fellow is working that hard, so let him go back to Bangalore and look after South India business. So that was another opportunity given to me by my boss to look after the marketing of South India. In what happened in South India, because all my classmates from Mysore, they were doing research in all research institutions like Indian of Science or university. So they thought, oh, Krasta has come, so let him give some orders. So because my classmates were there, so they gave me the order. So the revenue of the turnover of the Bangalore area of South India was much higher, greater than the Bombay. I was very happy. So if that is so, then we start with manufacturing unit. So this is how manufacturing unit came to Bangalore. So we started manufacturing unit with the collaboration from Bombay. This is how CM equipment instruments were started. The equipment instrument is same laboratory equipment instruments started in Bangalore and grew much better because we had a system and management much better. Generally, what happens in your life, if you are growing, there are other people to pull your leg down and don't allow you to grow up, right? You have seen that. Same thing happens. Because somebody must have given little chavi to his thing. Oh, this fellow, see how he's growing. So my boss putting obstacles, objections, all that. So its growth was sustained, lower down. Luckily, God was great. He called him up. So the unit was free. So I took over the unit. Then what happened? Another challenge. Although I started in 1981. What happened in 1991? Narasimha Rao and Manmohan Singh opened up the economy, liberalization, privatization, globalization. Earlier, my product was competition only to Calcutta, Delhi, Mumbai. But now it is a global competition. So I have to change. Change to what? That was another challenge. For my luck, there was a Kargil war in 1997. In Kargil war, what happened? We lost so many soldiers in the front end because the telecommunication equipment manufactured by our public sector units, especially here, did not function. The T-80 tanker did not fire. Why? Because at that altitude, at that temperature, we never had to have rather testing equipments for testing at that altitude and that temperature to work on this telecommunication equipment T-80 tanker. Whereas that side, Musharraf was, Pakistan's president was ready to have breakfast in Delhi, dinner in Kanyakumari. That means he had done all arms and ammunition tested because he got the all imported items for testing all his arms and ammunition. We could not get the imported items because sanctions were imposed on India. Why sanctions imposed? Because Vajpayee blasted atom bomb in Pokhran. So sanctions imposed, imported items for defense equipment testing were not available, whereas it is available for him. So he was firing from the top. Then what happened? A soldier rolled down, came down, then started coming, the Air Force came and attacked. So Kargil was over. What is that I understood from this? What is that idea? I got it. Why not we manufacture such kind of testing equipments where it is not available here in India? And at the same time, my first son got the engineering. I asked him whether he want to do a post-graduation. And then he asked me back, what should I do after post-graduation? You have to come and join the industry. Then if I have to come and join, why should I do post-graduation? Right? Come tomorrow. So I gave him the SWOT analysis, strength, weakness, opportunity, threats. This is what we have to manufacture. It's not available here in India. So I started doing research. Even we got one imported chamber to our factory, opened up completely. Because my first son was always very smart and technically very smart. Because from the childhood, like how Abhimanyu learned from Chakrayuva, from the mother's womb, right? When Krishna was telling a story to his sister, Abhimanyu was in the mother's womb. So Krishna was telling a story how to enter into Chakrayuva. But by the time he was telling a story, mother slept. So this fellow was making boom from the stomach. Krishna came to know and he stopped it. So Abhimanyu knew to enter Chakrayuva, never knew to come out. Whereas only 3 people knew: Arjuna, Bhishma, and Dronacharya. So these are the people who knew to enter Chakrayuva and come out. But Abhimanyu never knew. What does it indicate for you? You learn from your mother's womb. If your mother was listening to you some music, a particular music, when you are born and listen to the music, you know your hand, right? Even in your child. So this is the indication that you learn from mother's womb, not from the college or university. Sorry, college university you learn A for apple, B for banana, right? Baba Lakshmi. Of course, that is of the school, and now of course in the computer application you know the basics. But that doesn't give for you the entrepreneurship. That is our lot. That is now things are changing now in skill development. All that. Okay, that's a different subject altogether. Now, what is that? Rendezvous the entrepreneur. What you can get. So that means you learn from the childhood and get going. Nourish your talent, what you have. That is what the point which I was trying to tell you. So then we did the research. We got a imported chamber and opened up. And my son was very expert in that because when he was small, I got him one toy where making a sound is to change the direction. And he used to make continuously used to play. And one evening when nobody is home, he has gone under the cot, opened the window, everything is open, and I'm trying to fit it. Of course, that is a high technology, he could not do it. But I understood his talent, that he is more interested what is there inside. So I got him on imported chamber for repair, of course, for repair from one of our clients, and completely opened them. And we'll try to learn the technology in that. And we have learned completely indigenize the technology of environmental simulation products. That means we create a minus 80 to 250 degrees Celsius with 5% to 98% of humidity, with 150,000 feet above the sea level, with x-axis, l-axis, y-axis shape. That means if the missile goes up, how do you check whether the electronic assembly present in the missile will function or not? It should not happen like Kargil war. So we create such kind of atmosphere inside the chamber, manufacture such kind of chambers, and supply to all defense equipment manufacturers and electrical, electronics, and auto component manufacturers. If you are seen about say 25-30 years back, there are only ambassador car and a Fiat car, right? And a Bajaj scooter and a Lambretta scooter, right? And Bajaj scooter, if you want to start, you have to bend it and start. That was the situation. Of course, you may not know your parents. But when this car was run on a coastal area, within 2 years the door is to get rusted because of the corrosion in the coastal area. Now those cars are not getting rusted. Why? because we have manufactured the corrosion test chamber and supplied to them, and they test when how many years this car can stand without corrosion. So that kind of simulation, environmental simulation we create and supply to all these kind of companies. And I'm proud to tell you, Agni Prithvi Akash Brahmos. These missiles are tested in the chamber which we have supplied. And we have given direct competition to German, Japanese, and Americans, where they were the pioneers in testing this kind of equipment. Now we have started as a Atmanirbhar Bharat. An idea I got it during Kargil War in 1997. What does it indicate? When you get an idea, use it, go forward, nourish it, don't look back. That's the reason why Bangalore has highest startup capitals, higher startup companies. Of course, 80 to 81% close, that's a different question. But highest number of startups are in Bangalore. Why not in Mysore? Bangalore is Mysore is all same, all pensioners paradise there, and now it is all enterprise. Right? So why not in Mysore? So think differently. Idea whatever you have, anything for that matter, especially for some girls are good in kitchen, right? Of course, Chai was telling she was not in good kitchen, that's why got a nanny. But some are good in start one catering service. There are so many industries in Empire Industry listed, right? Sometimes their wives don't give their lunch packet, right? They eat from the roadside. Why don't you start one, buy one vehicle, beautiful, decorate it, open it up, and nice way of delicacies you make it? Why not? There's an also enterprise, social enterprise. If you are good in kitchen, or if you are good in services, there are so many offices in Mysore, and nobody cleans up properly. Every corner, if you see there's a dust, you inform the CMD of the company, sir, I am here. I have so many people. Even if you have 10 people, say 100 people. Say I have 100 people. Sir, your office before anybody comes will clean a sparkling clean, will keep and give you. And with a vase and a flower on the table. You want to say will not give you? So start doing it something instead of making a nice profile, putting it in the Google and hunting for a job. What for? Do you want to spend your time for somebody else? Or do you want to spend your time for yourself, earn money and challenges in your life? Always smart. Right? Do you want to be like that? Or 18 hours work from home? Even if your wife or husband is sleeping beside you, still work. Children crying, that's it, some I will look after. You want that kind of life? Or you have an idea, I want to put this idea into action as a startup capital. There are so many venture capitals, just Google it. So many, the startup, the first policy of Karnataka, startup policy came from Karnataka. Look at the startup policy of Karnataka itself. What are the provisions made for startup? What you should do as a startup? Everything is available in Google, but you should have time. But do you have time? Apart from your Facebook, WhatsApp, mobile, chatting, you have plenty of time, right? Do you have a time to nourish your talent, nourish your passion? Go to the Google and search. If you have a particular talent, how to prosper it, how to get going. Or there are so many incubators in the universities. Now started. Approach an incubator. If you have an idea, if you have, make a one module, put it in the market and check instead of investing whole money of yours or borrowed money and get into a problem. Start one model or start whatever idea what you want to nourish it. in the incubator and then start and go. That is how you have to start an entrepreneur. And you become smart every day. You can work 24 hours, 24/7 for you, not for others. At the cost of your family. Why you want to spend your money? Because time is money. You spend your time for your own sake, for your own development. Well, this is one product, environmental simulation products. Then what happened? My second son in the engineering college, he had a project work on paper honeycomb. You know why honeybee of Chai knows about it? You know why honeybee constructs his honeycomb in a hexagonal shape? Why hexagonal shape? Why not round? Why not square? Why not rectangular? Why hexagonal? No. Because all the corners of the hexagonal are attached to each other. And hexagonal has the highest volume, not square, round, or rectangular. Honeybee knows to store honey in a hexagonal shape for their babies. That's why honeybee constructs the honeycomb in a hexagonal shape. And if you see in the National Geography, say millions of honeybees, how unison they work, and they have the verticals, each honeybee, how they function, and collect the nectar and the pollen. So your population of the tree increases because of the honeybee. Credit goes to honeybee because the pollination happens by honeybee. That's why the honeybee keeping is improving now in the cardiology department. Honeybee keeping is also another first class adventure. Beekeeping. You must understand how one queen bee controls the millions of workers. So there's also power one lady also has. But we don't know till such time somebody, I'll get you that. So when Lord with the monkey face, Hanuman, Lord Hanuman, sorry, Lord Hanuman wanted to jump the ocean to go to Sri Lanka. Jambawa is a great grandfather, came and told him, see, you have the power. You can jump and go. You need not swim. So he jumped and went to Sri Lanka. And he, with his tail, the fight, bunch, all that. What does that indicate to you? That means you have the power within you. You have that kind of, the metabolism, what happens inside your body. And the adrenaline which is pumps inside your body becomes strong. Take for example, if you are walking in the forest, and in the forest when the tiger comes attacking you, what do you do? Huh? Run. You mean to say you can run faster than tiger? Or climb the tree? No, even tiger also can climb the tree. How do you save your life?
Stare into its eyes.
Huh?
Stare into its eyes.
Yes. Not only staring, shut your eyes, shut your hand, and face the tiger. Trust me, the tiger goes back. That is entrepreneurship. You have to face it. Somehow. There is one more example I will give you. You know the butterfly cycle? Correct? Butterfly puts the eggs behind the leaves. Correct? And they all, silkworms come. Silkworms eat all the leaves. Then it makes a cocoon. Right? And for our bad luck, all that cocoons is burnt and taken out the silk thread from there, right? And we kill all this. But otherwise, what happened? From the cocoon, when it bursts, the butterfly comes. And the butterfly, this is the cycle of butterfly, right? Once what happened in the laboratory, in a biology laboratory, the professor kept all the cocoons. And when the cocoons were kept, the professor asked the students, just observe, don't do anything. Just watch out how the butterfly comes out from there. See, observe and watch. So everybody is observing, but one bloody fellow was thinking, and the way the butterfly was just struggling to come out. By and large, every butterfly struggles to come out from the cocoon. So while he's struggling to come out, what he did, once he just slightly opened up. So butterfly came out, tried to fly, could not fly, so it died. Professor came and he saw all the cocoon. He saw all the butterflies are gone. He was searching that. How come this butterfly is died? Then he asked the student, what did you do? Sir, sorry sir, it was struggling to come out. So I thought to free to come out, I just cut it. So it came out and died. You British fellow, do you know the nature? You have to struggle in your life. Then only you come up and fly. Without the struggle, you have no life at all. This is what happens like this. So there is no free life. You have to struggle and come out in this world and become prosperous and fly. What does it indicate for you as an entrepreneur? So you have to. Am I exceeding my time? No, because I should not. Because he walked in, so I thought. So, butterfly story is that. I'll give one more example. It's a beautiful example. In the villages, the hen lays the egg, right? What about, say, after all the hens laid the eggs are all kept on a place, and the chicken sits over there about 18 to 21 days for hatching, right? It gives you the warmth. So with that temperature of say 32 or 34 degrees Celsius, the 18 days sitting, the eggs are all gets hatched. Correct? You have seen that? Now here in commercialization, there is a hatchery and hatching incubator. So within 7 to 8 days or 3 days, the eggs hatch. Of course, the eggs which come out in the market do not get chicken. Chicken have babies of chicken, right? You know that it's all vegetarian eggs. Because there's a separate colony by itself. And I was told in that colony, the head of the leader, this is a cock, has about 10 to 12 hens surrounding him. They lay the eggs. And if any other hen comes there, these all hens will bite that hen and never allow the other hen to come in. I mean, that's the nature wherein they have their own colony. This is how the eggs are. Those eggs are only sent to hatchery for hatching. But other eggs, where it is completely commercial or vegetarian eggs, fine, you can always see it is vegetarian. Okay, here, 18 to 21 days, these eggs gets hatched. For the bad luck of the family, in that chicken egg, one eagle egg was there. By mistake, someone eagle egg joined. And eagle egg also came out, eagle baby also came out along with the chicken babies. So they're all, mother was looking after the small babies, moving, following the mother, all eating and all that. One day the eagle baby saw eagle flying on the top. She asked the mother, what is that bird flying on the top? So mother said, no, don't see that. Whenever you find that eagle on the top, go and hide, otherwise it will catch you and kill you. So eagle baby also grew up like a chicken. Same way like chicken. It had no opportunity to fly high like eagle. So my dear students, you want to be like an eagle egg or chicken? You decide. And this is the rendezvous with the entrepreneur. But I did not complete the story of the honeycomb. Honeycomb, because it's hexagonal shape, all the corners are attached to each other and the highest volume. And what we manufacture as a second unit is waste craft paper converted into a honeycomb shape, 1 meter by 1 meter size of honeycomb, layered with the vinyl both the sides. It can take a load of 100 tons. That means it is a substitute for wooden packaging and thermocol packaging. Again, eco-friendly packaging. What we did was, as a trial, we gave a packaging solution to Godrej fridge manufacturers. Complete packaging solution is provided, and that packed fridge and the original packaged fridge, they took it from the 3rd floor, dropped it up. Nothing happened to the fridge which we packed. Whereas that fridge all broke. So this is a packaging friendly, eco-friendly packaging we provided. Probably in another 6 months' time, you will find all fridges, washing machines, the microwave ovens will come to your house on your doorstep, packed from our manufactured company. We started the unit in Bangalore because Godrej manufacturing unit was in Pune, Satara district. We started one more unit in Pune. They had one more unit in Mohali. Just last week we opened the inauguration in Mohali. Then looking at that, Samsung has come forward because Samsung global head from America came. So Samsung provided a 3x3 place for exhibition by supply chain product. So when it is given a chance for us, so the global head will be there in each cubicle for 4 seconds. So what we did instead of showing only our packaging solution, this specific product, we bought one Samsung fridge, packed with our packaging solution and showed it. So when he was supposed to spend 4 seconds in each cubicle, he was moving forward, came back, saw a fridge packed with it, ordered all his deputies. This is the product what is required. Order that and you supply globally. That means we have got the order, global supply of Samsung fridges over a period of time. So our next unit comes in Noida by December, maybe next year in Vietnam and in Malaysia. What else is required in your enterprise? Idea. Get into enterprise. Get started. Get going. Don't look back. Anything, whether tiger follows you or whether you're a baby of chicken or eagle, identify yourself, be strong, move forward, and that is the rendezvous with the entrepreneurs. Here, and there's one more person will explain to you and give you how you should start an enterprise. Now I would like to ask you, how many want to start an enterprise? Oh, at least improve. Okay, fine. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable words. Now, friends, if you have any questions to ask, please do ask to Mrs. Chaya.
Particularly to China. If you have any question, ma'am has made
Hello,
one more
ma'am.
mic.
Hello, ma'am. My name is Praveen, BCA final year. Ma'am, first of all, you are such an inspiration. Because I've seen people just growing. They don't make people grow as with them also. You are even farmers also. You said you have some ethics and values, moral values. How is your values contributed to the society and to company?
Keep it clear.
Your name you said Praveen. That's a nice question, Praveen, because of late I see, it's just about individual growth that is given so much of importance. And during COVID also, I think I did mention to you all how we did provided accommodation for around 40 of them. Well, I feel growth without inclusiveness, I don't think it's growth at all. And the inner satisfaction that you get when people around you are part of the growth story, it is enormous. See, if you were to just Google for videos, you could see my boys speaking to recently, I think it was Times Now when they were in the unit. They have said that from earning 500 rupees to they are now earning around 18,000 and they were not fortunate to even study up till sevens. So they say how their life has transformed so much. And one more aspect I have learned in life is don't expect anything from anyone when you help them out.
Exactly.
When you expect something in return, you feel delusioned, you feel extremely saddened, helplessly. And it took me over a period of time to accept that. See, earlier I was expecting, I would think that we do so much, they're so ungrateful. Now that thought is just not there. When you do things selflessly, I think God blesses you in abundance in different ways. Thank you.
Hi, ma'am. My name is Pranita. I've actually, once I got to know about this seminar, I just went through your profile because I was really interested in agriculture. Because it was something my grandfather also was doing. So I was actually accompanying him during my summer vacations and all, and it was really a challenging job. Because one thing is you'll have to know how it actually works, and they need a humid climate, like to produce nectar and all those things. My question is, was it an easy job for you to procure the raw material in humid climate? Bangalore is a place which has the least humidity. And normally honeybees, they actually need a humid climate. And for flowering plants also, they need a humid climate. So was it an easy job? Because it was just a startup. So I wanted to know whether it was easy for you.
That's an interesting question here. I want to convey that why almost more than 90% of those who have got into this business have failed. There is a reason behind it. The reason is in apiculture right now, since most of the areas where the honeybees procure are not organic, the bee goes and collects the nectar from a sprayed flora. And this floral source nectar, the honey later can fail the pesticide test. So I even tell the ministry, it is time that they inform the facts before promoting apiculture the way they have done. Because at the end of the day, if you don't have a buyer, where will you sell your produce? We have currently, that is the reason why we have become one of the biggest buyers of tribal honey from the country, because by default we are organic. Apiculture has lot of, I would say, plus and minus points there, because you need perennial flora too. Otherwise, you need to feed it with sugar syrup many a times, because they need to survive, right? So definitely procurement, we are very, very careful, and especially now if you're exporting, it is so stringent. It is so hard to procure the right honey. And it took us almost 8 years to develop our vendors across the country. And we are one of the largest procurers of single floral honey also. When there is 20 acres of one flower, we keep our bee boxes there. The bee goes and collects the nectar from that flora, and then we give it for a pollen test. The color, taste, and flavor changes as per the flora. And we created a special market for that. Be it the Reliance, you name the biggest weddings in the country. The takeaway after the wedding was nectar fresh, unifloral honey. So it is very, very hard. Yes, very hard. It is not at all as easy as, like I said, it is our passion, dedication. Me and my husband Rajappa, we work for literally 13 hours a day. If you're ready for it, then yes, success is yours.
Another question to you. I have actually completed my degree now. So my question is, before starting, I want to start up my own enterprise, but before that, joining a company and gaining experience, would that be beneficial, or directly starting up an enterprise is beneficial?
Well, again, it depends on your thought process. Sometimes if you're very innovative with what you have thought, but when it comes to innovation, plus, what you should most importantly see is that, is your innovative idea feasible? Many a times I go as, for the main panel to select the winners for, there are with varied countries when we have a tie-up or an understanding. And I realize some of them from the best many institutions in the country, be it IITs or wherever it is, I realize what they have assumed as innovative is not practical. At the end of the day, it shall work only if it is feasible. I would say, survey your market is most important. And whatever you get into, look into the price with which your competitor is selling it. Don't get into something where your raw material procurement becomes a problem. Now at Nectar Fresh, we see to it, anything that we can't manufacture, maybe up to 100 tons, we don't get it. Because if you don't consistently supply, I think your name in the industry is gonna be affected, saying that they're always short of supplies. So you'll have to consider all that. So it doesn't matter if you're going to be an entrepreneur or you need to work. I don't think you need to work anywhere to get these ideas. But when you learn with your own mistakes, I think you become a better entrepreneur.
Do you have any other questions?
Good morning, ma'am. Myself, Chinmay from third year BCom. And my question is, it is not a very easy task to become a women entrepreneur. So what are the consequences or the problems you face and how to overcome those consequences?
Well, I would definitely agree with you that you have lot of challenges today. Why am I rushing back? I am troubled by the project director again on the highway because right, and especially there are numerous challenges when you start an entrepreneurship in rural India. Why, like I said earlier, we don't get to capitalize the subsidy schemes because we don't get the right people to do our project work, and we will not even be aware of what is available. Yes, awareness is there, but who's gonna help us get the needful? But again, it is your never give up attitude that shall come to your help then, because the panchayat level itself, the driving starts. Can you believe it? I have to be open here. Only when I don't give just rosy thoughts. I tell you the challenges you face will be a plenty, but when you overcome that and succeed, I just can't tell you what the satisfaction is like. Today, when I say you are not coming to the unit, I don't even have to think twice to tell anyone because I have not been part of under the table deals. I have not come up bribing people. It is through sheer hard work. I think the respect in the industry that I have today, I can walk into IDC's office without an appointment because today the top people in IDC, it's a 12-year-old association with them that they are packing their product at Nectar Fresh, and they say, do family members need an appointment? So, if Walmart has come all the way to the small scale social enterprise at Munli, well, there is something to it. Like I said, challenges will be a plenty. And I really would have loved to hear to Munli ji speak, but I have to rush now because I'm facing one more challenge, intentional one, backed by certain politicians, by the project director on the highway. In spite of my this new enterprise coming up, they're trying to put. They will give you numerous challenges, but it is worth fighting it out and succeed.
Last one questions. Anyone have?
Thank you for your questions. Since our guest Mrs. Chaya and Supa is heading for a meeting, I thank her for joining us today. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you all. A pleasure being with you.
Thank you all. Competition is not all about being aware. It's not something to be afraid of. Next, I call upon Aisha Taj of final year BPA to introduce our next guest, Mr. Munli.
Good morning, everyone present here. I am profusely overjoyed to take this opportunity to introduce our next chief guest of the day. He is none other than Mr. Munli. He is an exceptional entrepreneur who has made a difference in the field of startups. His futuristic plans and successes are the landmarks of his career. Being one of the youngest, charming entrepreneur of the day, he is the CEO of Foodbox, which is currently one of the leading self-reliant food delivery chains in Karnataka. Amidst being an exceptional actor and a fine athlete, Mr. Munli always had a shared mind of business and he gained a vast knowledge relating culinary aesthetics. After completing his basic education, he joined engineering and graduated from NIEIT and worked as a software analyst and a business development executive at JSoft, a software wing of Jindal Steel Private Limited between 2014 and 15. Gaining valuable experience, he launched his brainchild Foodbox at Mysuru in December 2015. Foodbox started as a small home delivery service, selling just 40 boxes a day. With the systematic and dedicated approach of Murli's tactically crafted business model, Foodbox has now completed 5 years of successful operations and now caters over 2,500 operations a week and supplies 2,500 boxes a week. Foodbox has appetized lakhs of customers since the time of its inception and has over 40,000 customers registered to their database. So we present to you the fourth session of Rendezvous Entrepreneurs. Now I would like to welcome Mr. Munli founder and the CEO of Foodbox on the stage to share his precious thought.
Thanks, Aisha. Namaskaram. Obviously, I cannot talk anything about because sir is already there. I'm too small in front of him. I can even say as tiny as it is because our start model I know and with Chaya ma'am, it was almost like a fanboy moment. It was just 10 months since I started Foodbox. She was a guest speaker at NIE. I'd been there. I listened to her talk, and then I was so motivated. I even wrote her an email that day. She spoke about materialistic world. I had written her an email saying world beyond Gucci and Armani. It was like a fanboy moment for me, sitting with and again, I want to thank you, Principal Ma'am and Professor Sir, for having me here. It's a privilege and an honor, sir. Thank you. Kannada ಬರುತ್ತಾ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಇಲ್ಲ that's easy. Okay. Football simple ಆಗಿ ಲೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ God could not be everywhere, so he created mothers. Mothers could not be everywhere, so I created footballs. So, starting Foodbox, it's an incredible journey. If I have to tell you a story behind it, like everybody else, even how you are studying your degree, even I did my engineering with computer science. ನೀವೇನಾದ್ರೂ ಈ ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬಾ ಈಸಿ ಅಂತ ಅನಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ನೀವು ವಿಟಿಯುಲಿ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಓದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಷ್ಟು okay. So I completed my engineering, and like everybody else, even I had to take up a job. But while studying engineering, a couple of friends of mine and I, we were very enterprising. So we used to take up all college events, be it as small as this one until any big events, college fests or anything. And I had made up my mind to self-sustain. Xerox gagli, petrol gagli, one bike ಕೊಂಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕಾಗ್ಲಿ, ನಾನೇ ದುಡ್ಡು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು, ನಾನೇ ದುಡಿಬೇಕು, ನಾನೇ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. One thing with degree is I want to tell you guys now, what is it with colleges? What is it with degree? What is it with whatever these things? What I feel is the friends you procure at your degree time, they are the best ones. They'll stay with you forever, actually. And I will want to tell you this thing that please be careful while selecting your friends. I know it is not a process to do such, but Nanige, I was very fortunate enough. I got around a couple of friends who were motivating me to work hard. There's one friend of mine called Alam. So he's a professional golfer now. So he motivated me what commitment is, how to keep myself up. So these kind of stuff happened with college. So I learned all these things with degree. And once I completed degree, again I had to take up my engineering work. I joined a company called JSOF, and again in the final round I was sitting here with a couple of interviewers. I just told them, sir, I'm really bad with all this coding and stuff, sir. I don't know anything. Please give me something with sales and marketing. My head lies with marketing, so if you could please give me something, it would be a great favor. They were like, no, you've done your test really well. You please take up this development job. You'll have to go to Bellary for 6 months, work there, learn about manufacturing, learn about the processes of steel, and then come back. So again, I couldn't say no. I took up this job. I went to Bellary, and I started doing my work. And again, there was this pressure building inside me, thinking I used to work so hard while I was in college. I used to be self-sustained. I used to do everything of my own. But what is it that I'm doing now? I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I always wanted to be enterprising. What am I doing now? And along with this, to tell you all, I'm a theatre artist. I've been into theatre for almost 10 years now. I've given over 300 stage performances pan-India. So once all these things were building up inside me, I got this amazing opportunity. There happened a international corporate exhibition called Zipit in Bangalore. Since my CEO knew that I was into theatre and stuffs like this, he invited me back to Bangalore and told to coordinate the event. So, and lucky for me, that event was huge success. And the next day after I went back to Bellary, I had an email saying you've been promoted to sales and marketing, just get back to Bangalore. So again, I came back to Bangalore from Bellary, and when I came back to Bangalore from Bellary, everything was very colorful at first. You know, Bangalore crowd, that culture, that roaming around, except for the stress, right? Everything was very colorful. So, and then what else happened in Bangalore was I got an amazing boss. His name is Karmesh Ghosh. I got an amazing boss who taught me ABCs of business. He took me to all the startup seminars. He took me to funding rounds. He took me each and every step. He taught me how to do as simple as a business calculation until everything. So I started learning from him. I started moving around with him. I learned a little. Nevertheless, to say I learned a little. And then again, this girl inside me started killing me again. What am I doing here again at Bangalore? I am supposed to do something of my own. I want to do something of my own. I want to be one of the biggest things anybody has ever seen. Everybody would have this dream, right? So even I had this dream. And ಅದೇ ಟೈಮ್ಗೆ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಏನಾಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಂದೊಂದು ನಾಟಕ ಈ ಊರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಕಳ್ಳರೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. ಆ ನಾಟಕ ಮೈಸೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಪಸ್ಸು ರೀಶೆಡ್ಯೂಲ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಆ ನಾಟಕನೂ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ನನ್ಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಕೆಲಸದ ಹಿಂಸೆ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ. I just went to my manager one day and I told him, sir, I'm not continuing this now. I'm putting down my papers. I don't know how it goes, but I don't know. I'm just putting down my papers. But Karmesh sir, he was very generous enough. He told me, you take 3 months of paid leave. Avag tane one project mugisidvi. So he told me, you take 3 months of paid leave. You go back to Mysore, do whatever you want, and then if you cannot achieve anything, or if there is nothing that shows some light on the road, you just come back and work here. Avagte next day I came back to Mysore. And then one thing to Purti in August, I completed my theatre thing. And from September again, I was all free. And I had this thought, ಏನು ಮಾಡೋದು ಮೈಸೂರಿಗೆ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಇವಾಗ ಚಾಲೆಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟೆ, ಏನೋ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟೆ, ಏನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು? ಅವಾಗ ಮೈಸೂರೇ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಯಾಂಪೇನ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ಅವಾಗ ತಾನೇ ಫೇಸ್ಬುಕ್ ಒಂಚೂರು ಬೂಮ್ ಆಗ್ತಿತ್ತು, ಆಲ್ ದ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಪೇಜಸ್ ವೇರ್ ಬೂಮಿಂಗ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್. ನಾವು ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಆಡಿಯೋಗಳನ್ನ ಲಾಂಚ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. And those audios got viral like anything. Mysuru ಅಂತ typically about Mysuru. But again, ಅದೊಂದು ತಿಂಗಳು ಕೆಲಸ ಆದ್ರೆ ಅಕ್ಟೋಬರ್ ಎಂಟಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಹೊಟ್ಟೆಪಾಡಿಗೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು? ಅಕ್ಟೋಬರ್ ಮೈಸೂರು ಫೇಸ್ಬುಕ್ ಪೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಯಾಂಪೇನ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಬಟ್ what to do to sustain? So ಅವಾಗ I was into food, like since I was studying, I used to outsource any catering stuffs and then get it to the college ತಂದು ಅದನ್ನ ಮಾರಿ ಅದರ ಬರೋದು ಒಂದು ಕಮಿಷನ್, we used to take it. So I knew something about food. I knew there was money in food. But again, ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಊಟ ತಿಂಡಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಕಷ್ಟ ಅನ್ಭವಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ವಿ. ಹೆಂಗೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, if you are working in a software company, ಪಕ್ಕ ಸಣ್ಣ ಹೋಟ್ಲ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, 80 ರೂಪಾಯಿ 100 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಆ ಹೋಟ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು 4 ಪುಲ್ಕ, ಒಂದ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಗ್ರೇವಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಒಂದ್ ಚಟ್ನಿ ಇಸ್ಕೊಂಡ್ ಬರ್ಬೇಕು. ಅವನ ಹತ್ರ ಮತ್ತೆ ಗ್ರೇವಿನೋ ಚಟ್ನಿನೋ ಹಾಕಿಸ್ಕೊಡಕ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ತಲೆನೋವು ಆ ಬಿಸಿಲಲ್ಲಿ. ಅವಾಗ I thought, why shouldn't I deliver homemade style food to everybody's doorstep? So again, I made a plan. ಈ ತರ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ. And then I knew that my grandmom and 2 other aunts of mine, they were like good cooks because I've grown up eating their food. So I went to my grandmom and 2 other aunts of mine. I requested them. I told them this idea. ಈ ತರ ಹಿಂಗ್ idea ಇದೆ. Will you please help me? They were really happy. And then one Friday, 3rd of December 2015, I decided to come up with a menu. One pulao ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, one sweet ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, one fruit salad ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, and curd rice. We packed it. However, I would be doing the business in future. ಅದನ್ನ ಪ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಒಂದು 70 ಜನದ್ದು ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ನಾನು. To whom if I go and deliver, they can spread a word for me in future ಅಂತ. So ಆ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು 3 ಜನ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ನ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಡೇ ಈ ತರ ಬರ್ತೀರಾ, ಒಂಚೂರು ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ, we want to deliver food ಅಂತ. And then they were again gracious enough, they joined me. ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು we went to all their places, we knocked their door, we gave them the food and we told them, this is what I'll be doing from tomorrow, please help me, please support me, please spread a word to the world. And ವಾಪಸ್ ಬಂದ್ವಿ. ತುಂಬಾ ಸುಸ್ತಾಗಿ ಹೋಗಿತ್ತು. ಅವತ್ತು ಫ್ರೈಡೆ ನಾವು ಅಜ್ಜಿ ಕೇಳಿದೆ, ಅಜ್ಜಿ ಅವಾಗ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಬರ ವೀಕೆಂಡ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಯಾಟರ್ಡೆ ಸಂಡೇ ರಜಾ. ಅಜ್ಜಿ ಫ್ರೈಡೆ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ, ಸಾಕು ಸುಸ್ತಾಗಿ ಹೋಗಿದೆ, ಮಂಡೆಯಿಂದ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡೋಣ ಅಂತ. ಮೈ ಗ್ರಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಮ್ ಬೆದ್ಮುಂದೆ 2ನೇ ದಿನ ಯಾರು ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತಾರೇನೋ ಅವಶ್ಯಕನ ಅಂತ ಬೆಳಿದ್ರು. So for second day we delivered somewhere around 40 food boxes, and today we deliver somewhere around 3,000 food boxes a week. We bought over 40 30,000 registered users here in Mysore. So this was how Foodbox came into existence. The story, the journey has been incredible. And I mean, I know I can relate it because ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಒಂದು 2-3 ವರ್ಷ ದೊಡ್ಡವನಷ್ಟೇ ನಿಮ್ಗಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. I can give you some tips about all these enterprises or anything. ಸರ್ ಕೇಳಿದಾಗ ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಜನ ಕೈ ಎತ್ತಲಿಲ್ಲ, 2ನೇ ಸಲ ಕೇಳಿದಾಗ ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಜನ ಕೈ ಎತ್ತಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಜನ ಕೈ ಎತ್ತಿದ್ರು. ಬಟ್ ಐ ನೋ ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅರ್ಧಕ್ಕರ್ಧ ಜನ ಯು ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಬಿಕಮ್ ಆಂಟ್ರಪ್ರಿನರ್ಸ್. ನಾವು ಆಂಟ್ರಪ್ರಿನರ್ಸ್ ಹಂಗೆ ಯಾರು ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಎತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಮಾಡಿ ತೋರಿಸ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದು. So it's almost like that. I get it. And where does education comes in between all these things? You are trigonometry, whatever algebra, whatever this is happening and that. And then at some point during my 5 years journey as an entrepreneur, I started realizing so many things about why education was important. So one thing with degree, I said I got an amazing friend circle. Me studying so hard, I mean tough subjects, I think it really molded my brain. I think it really taught me well to understand difficult things, whatever is happening now in business and a situation. I think it gave me colors to understand, okay, this is not difficult, I can solve it and go ahead. So I think engineering gave me so many things. Engineering everybody keeps asking me this question. Engineering you're into food sector now. How does that even relate? See, engineering, it teaches you beyond subjects. For me, example, we were a group of 3 friends, Yeti, Alap and I. Alap is a professional golfer. Theater, Yeti was a very smart worker. ಎಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಮಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದ ಅಂದ್ರೆ say he used to jot down 5 questions, and out of 5 questions at least 3 questions would appear in the examination, and we used to pass. So every night exam ಇಂದಿನ ದಿನ ಎತ್ತಿ ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋಗೋದು, ಅವ್ನು ಕೂಡ 5 ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ನ ಕಲಿಯೋದು, ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ 3 ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಪಾಸ್, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್. So ಈ ಗ್ಯಾಮ್ಬಲ್ ನ ತಗೊಂಡ್ವಿ, but it taught us to fight. Even at the last moment, it taught us to fight. Engineering, if some situation came right now in front of me, it taught me how to fight. So there are so many things engineering taught me beyond subjects. So this is about engineering and studies. I wanted to tell you all. I want to tell you all, whatever you want to do, please stay creative. Do something new. One medium for you guys to stay creative: read books. I'm not telling you guys you business books ಓದಿ, Robin Sharma books ಓದಿ. No, I wouldn't say you that. You love books ಓದಿ, read adventurous books, read thrillers, whichever you like. You know what? You ಓದಿದಾಗ you will have a hero in your mind, you will have a villain in your mind. You will start picturizing, you will start creating your own story. That picturization and that dreaming is what is very important to become anybody you want to become. Say if there is somebody there in US who is worth $290 billion, even you can be worth $290 billion. It's just that you have to stay very persistent. You have to focus on whatever you want to do, and you have to achieve it. And that picturization part and dreaming part, it is very important. So I wanted to give you these many points. A couple more points about creativity. I said to read books and stuff. Idadmele focus. Even ನೀವೇನಾದ್ರೂ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ be focused, work hard. At any point, let me tell you, I do not know how to cook, right? I did not know anything about business. I'm a first generation entrepreneur, but still after 5 years into business, I'm standing in front of you and talking. The only thing I believed in was about hard work, and because hard work always supersedes talent. If you are working hard, I think you will have to succeed. But it might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, but at some Friday you will succeed. That hard work you have to put in. This is one other thing I wanted to tell you all, and I want to tell you a couple of inspiring stories actually. What happened in 2011 ನಲ್ಲಿ Ola Pravish Agarwal Ola invent ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. But again, you will not believe, until 2013 December, until all this Android phones revolutionized, he got only maximum of 100 rides for like almost 2.5 years. But see now where Ola stands. It's more than $1 billion company. But what he did was he just believed in this idea. He just stood there. He just waited for his opportunity, and then the Evola is what it is now. So I always want to tell all of you young guys, whatever you're doing, stay very persistent. Stay extremely persistent. ನೀವು ಇವತ್ತಿಲ್ದೆ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಇವತ್ತು ಸೋಮವಾರ ಹೆಂಗಾಗೋಗಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದ್ ಜನ ಸೋಮವಾರ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಮಂಗಳವಾರ ತನಕ ಕಾಯ್ತಾರೆ, ಯಾರೋ ಬುಧವಾರ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಇನ್ ಕೆಲವರು ಶುಕ್ರವಾರ ತನಕ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಆ ಶುಕ್ರವಾರ ಆಗಿರಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಶುಕ್ರವಾರ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ನಿಮ್ದು ದಿನ ಬರೋ ತನಕ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಸ್ಟೇ ವೆರಿ ಪರ್ಸಿಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಯು ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಹಾರ್ಡ್ ಎವ್ರಿಬಡಿ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಿಮ್ದು ಏನಾದ್ರು ಐಡಿಯಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಯು ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಅ ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಯು ಮೇಕ್ ಇಟ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಅಂಡ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ಇಂಪಾಸಿಬಲ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಅವ್ರು ಯಾರೋ ಅವಾಗ ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು, ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಮೀ ಟು ವರ್ಕ್ ಎಲ್ಸ್ವೇರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ start, or should I start it from the scratch? Ma'am answered very beautifully. But if I have to share my experience, I think since that I worked elsewhere, I got to know how a corporate company works, how important an email is, how a HR team works, how a finance team works, how a admin team works. Just that I worked for almost 1.5 years, I could realize all these things and inculcate all these organization things in my company. So it is just a suggestion. I mean, so these are few points, and I would like to listen more questions and answer through my stories. That's it here. If you guys have any questions after all, you can just ask me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your insights on entrepreneurship. Due to unavoidable reasons, Mr. Hashar Keshav is not with us here today. Now, this is our precious time to interact with the guests. So, friends, if you have any questions, please do ask one by one.
My question is to Jacob, sir. You are particularly from the science background, like you've done your engineering and all. How was it when you marketing months or something? So is it an easy task for you going like door to door? Is it actually easy? Because you said you had to interact with so many clients, like having face-to-face conversation, especially for us being commerce students, task. So that was my question to you.
Have you seen their life easy? Or even getting admission to this college was easy? Or studying for your examination was easy? In life, nothing is easy. You have to struggle for it. I gave the example of Poon and right? In their life, you got to struggle. And if you take it easy and if you don't struggle, you fall down. As simple as that.
But during that period, did you ever even once feel that, like, did you hesitate or regret taking the decision of like taking marketing or jumping into being an entrepreneur?
If you're traveling in a boat and if the boat is sinking, you are in the water, what do you do?
That's true.
Oh, you don't know swimming? What do you do? Somehow you catch something available or the boat bottom side you and come, right? That is survival instinct. Survival of the fittest. Struggle for existence. Unless you follow these principles in life, you cannot survive. You cannot come up. And one correction, I'm not an engineer. I am a postgraduate in organic chemistry. And I never studied marketing. Marketing is my instinct. It's my passion. So what I said, you've got to be passionate. Although I was a lecturer, I left the lecturer post. I was getting 1,400 rupees. Went to Bombay, joined marketing. Why? Because I wanted to build up a career first. Because once you are in marketing, you know how to market your product. That's the way it should move forward.
Yes, sir. I'm Chandana from second year BBA. So how do you overcome the fear of failure?
Fear of failure. How you overcome. Don't see the failure. Don't ever think about it. Only when you think about the failure, you fail. When a task is given to you, for example, your mother gives you nangondu coffee ಮಾಡ್ತಗೊಂಬನ್ನೆ, right? But you don't know how to make coffee. So what do you do? Are you succumb to the failure? What do you do? ಅಯ್ಯೋ ನಮ್ಮ ತಾಯಿಗೇನೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಕಾಫಿ ಡೈರಿ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿ, ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಕಾಫಿ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಂದ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿ, ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀಯಾ? ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸಿಗೆ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕೇಳಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ತಾಯಿಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ ಕಾಫಿ ಕೊಡೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಕಾಫಿ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿ, ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡುದು ಕಾಫಿ? What do you do? So it's a success or a failure. So if you don't think about the failure, failure is not there. When you say, I tried. When you say, I tried, that means you only tried. When you say, yes, I should do it, okay, so don't believe in failure, move forward, boldly. ಅದೇ ನಾನು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಲ್ಲ, ಟೈಗರ್ ಓಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರೋ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಅಲ್ವಾ?
So in this phase of life, student life, we have many confusions about career. Especially I am learning second year. And I have to
Take the mic.
ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಮ್ಮ, ಮೈಕ್ ಹಿಂಗಿತ್ತು ಈಗ ಹೇಳು.
So ಈ phase ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ
ಇದೇ
confusion
ಸಕ್ಸಸ್, ಇದೇ ಸಕ್ಸಸ್.
career ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ confusions ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ನನಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ confusion ಇದೆ couple of months ಇಂದ. After 3 years, we have many plans, we have many ideas. I don't know how to focus on particular goal. How to know ourselves.
But it's a good question. I think everybody has faced that in life. Alva? For example, in Munli, he was working in Jeddah, he was an engineer. Engineer ಆದವನು ಹೋಗಿ ಫುಡ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನಲ್ಲ, ಏನಂತೀರ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ? ನಾನು ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಮಾಡಿದವನು ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಎನ್ವೈರನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಸಿಮ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಏನದು? ಇದು ಕಾಲ ಕಾಲಕ್ಕೆ ಬದಲಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇವತ್ತು ಏನೋ ಥಿಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಕಾಲ ಕಾಲಕ್ಕೆ ಬದಲಾಗ change 100 products, no problem. Today you have a code called IBC code, ಅಂದ್ರೆ insolvency, bankruptcy ಅಂತ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ವೇಳೆ ನೀವು ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರಿ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿ, ಎಂಟರ್ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿ ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, doesn't matter. You just post it in the website or Google it. There are people who will take over successfully and go forward. You can trust something else. That facility is available. ಅದೇ ತರ ಡೊನಾಲ್ಡ್ ಟ್ರಂಪ್ 3 ಕಂಪನೀಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ಫುಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಫೇಲ್ಯೂರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ USA ಮಾಡಿ ಹೋದಲ್ವಾ? ಹೋಗುವಾಗ ಗಲಾಟೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋದ ಅಲ್ವಾ? So it is not that point where what you have decided today to do it, tomorrow also should survive. No, not required. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ unless you get it, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ can you swim without getting into water? ಈಜಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬರುತ್ತಾ? ಈಜಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕಲಿಯಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನೀರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಲೇಬೇಕು ತಾನೆ. ನೀರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗದೆ ನಾನು ಈಜು ಕಲಿಯಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹೆಂಗಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಸೊ ಬೆದರಬೇಡಿ. All students, don't scared what you are doing it. What you want to do it. ಅದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ವಾಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಂತೆ.
Thank you, sir.
Just to add, I mean, this is one simple exercise even I do, sir. I don't know how effective, but it is very effective for me. ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅವಾಗ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರೀತೀನಿ ನನಗೆ ಏನ್ ಬೇಕು ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರೀತೀನಿ. That time I will make myself clear, okay, I need this, these are my priorities. I have to focus on the business, not on acting. I have to do this, I have not to do that. So ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ಇವತ್ತಿನ you can practice it once. You just write down whatever is there in your mind or heart. Just write down. It will make you so much clear about so many things actually. ಅದೊಂದು main. ಸೋಲೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಭಯ? First of all, ನೀವು ಸೋಲೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಭಯ ಇದ್ರೆ you cannot become an entrepreneur at all. One thing and another thing is whatever you want. One thing ನಾನು ಇದು ಹೇಳೋದು ಮರ್ತ್ಬಿಟ್ಟೆ. Whatever you want in life, you have to ask it for yourself. ಇವಾಗ ನನಗೆ ಏನೋ ಬೇಕು from sir ಅಂದ್ರೆ, please do not expect anybody else to come on behalf of you. Come to him and ask it. That will never work. ಏನು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿ ಕೊಡಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಾರೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಇಲ್ಲ. This is the kind of attitude you have to go with.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Meghna. I'm from 2nd PBA. Sir, my question is to Munli, sir. So you told that you found that you have money in food. So why did that thought come to your mind?
Because I worked in it, right? I was doing some catering in college and stuff like that. But yes, I was outsourcing. ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೆ ನಾನು 50 ರೂಪಾಯಿಗೆ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ತಗೊಂಡು 30 ರೂಪಾಯಿಗೆ ಇನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಕೊಟ್ಕೊಂಡು 20 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊತಿದ್ದೆ. ದಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೈಟ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ದಟ್ ಐ ವಾಸ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್. ಬಟ್ ಸರ್ ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ ಈ ಸಮುದ್ರ ಇಳಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ನನ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಆಳ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅಷ್ಟು ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ ಇದೀನಿ, ಅಷ್ಟು ಕಷ್ಟ ಇದೆ. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ದಟ್ ಸಿಂಪಲ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ somebody who started with nothing. ನಮ್ ತಾತ ಫಂಡ್ ನಡ್ಸೋರು. ಸೊ ಫಂಡ್ ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ಫಂಡ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿ ಅಂತ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಸ್ಟವ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರು. ಅದೆರಡು ಸ್ಟವ್ ಇತ್ತು. ನಮ್ಮ ಅಜ್ಜಿ ಚಿಕ್ಕಮ್ಮಂದಿರು ಅಡಿಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಒಪ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರು. ನಾನು ಮತ್ತೆ ಮಂಜು ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ ಒಂದ್ ರೌಂಡ್ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ನಾನ್ ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಿದ್ದೆ. ಅದೇ ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಪಾತ್ರೆಗಳಿತ್ತು, ಮತ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆ ಗರಾಜ್. ಇಷ್ಟರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಟ್ರೈಂಗ್ ಟು ಸೇ ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಟಫ್. ನಾವು ಕಣ್ಣಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡೋದೇ ಬೇರೆ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಾ. ನಾವು ಎದುರುಗಡೆ ಕಣ್ಣಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡೋದೇ ಬೇರೆ. ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದೇರ್ ಬಿಹೈಂಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ಲಿ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್. It motivated me a little. Yes, okay, we can, because I would have heard stories. Totally 20% profit, 100% 20% profit. ಇಷ್ಟಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಷ್ಟಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ನಾನು ಅದ್ರೊಳಗೆ ಇಳಿದು ನೋಡಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. Only after I went in, I immersed myself in water. I understood what it is, and I try to swim hard every day, like how Sir was it.
Thank you.
ಸರ್, ನೀವು ಈ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ನ ಚಾಯ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಫುಡ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಅದು ಸುಮಾರು ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಇನ್ಸ್ಪೈರ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಅದು ಯಾವ ತರ ಅಂತ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಐ ಗೆಟ್ ದ ಸಜೆಷನ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಯು?
ಇನ್ಸ್ಪೈರ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹೆಂಗೆ
ಸರ್? ಐದಾದ್ರು ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಹಾಗೆ ಸರ್. ಹಾಗೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆಗಿ ನೀವು ಚಾಯ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡು, ಸೊ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆಗಿ ನೀವು ಈ ಫುಡ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ನ ನೀವು ಚಾಯ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಆ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ನ ಎಲ್ಲ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಯಾರಿಗೆ? Can I get the reason why?
Main reason is one, for my love with food. ಒಂದು ನನ್ ಫುಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಲವ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅದು. ಎರಡನೇದು ನನಗೆ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ದ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್. ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಹೋಟ್ಲ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಊಟ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ರೈಟ್. ಬಟ್ ಮೈಸೂರಲ್ಲಿ ಅವಾಗ ಇನ್ನು ಸ್ವಿಗ್ಗಿ ಬಂದಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಝೊಮ್ಯಾಟೊ ಬಂದಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಯಾವ್ದು ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ವಿ ವರ್ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ಸ್ ಟು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಡೆಲಿವರಿ. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಅವಾಗ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್, ಲೈಕ್ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ವಾಸ್ ಸೇಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಗಿವ್ ಇಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಟು ದ ಸೊಸೈಟಿ. ಇವಾಗ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಅಮೆರಿಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರೋ ಒಬ್ಬ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅವ್ರ ಅಪ್ಪ ಅಮ್ಮ ಏನ್ ಸರಿ ಊಟ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಫುಡ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಡೆಲಿವರಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್, ಐ ವಾಂಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಗಿವ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮನೆ ಊಟ ಇವಾಗ ನಾವು ಹೆಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಇವತ್ತಿಗೆ ಮೆನುಗೆ ಪನ್ನೀರ್ ಬಟರ್ ಮಸಾಲಾ, ಗೋಬಿ ಮಂಚೂರಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ನೀವು ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಪ್ರಿಸರ್ವೇಟಿವ್, ಸೋಡಾ ಏನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡದೆ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ತಿಂತೀರಾ ಆ ತರ ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ವಾಸ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಥಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಡ್ರೈವ್ಡ್ ಮೀ ಟು ಇಟ್. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು? ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ರೀತಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್.
ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ರೋಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಈ ತರ ಫುಡ್
ಹೆಂಗಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ ಅಂತ ಬರಲ್ಲ. ಇವತ್ತಿಲ್ ಬಂದೆ ಸರ್ಕಲ್ ಕೇಳಿದೆ, ಐ ಗಾಟ್ ವೆರಿ ಇನ್ಸ್ಪೈರ್ಡ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಹಿಮ್. ಎವ್ರಿ ಡೇ ಮೋಟಿವೇಶನ್ ಇತ್ತು. ಒಂದೊಂದ್ಸತಿ ನಾವೇ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಮೋಟಿವೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಕಥೆಗಳು ಓದ್ಬೇಕು ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರದ್ದು ವಿಚ್ ವಿಲ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಪೈರ್ ಯು ಅಗೇನ್ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಒಬ್ರು ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ ಅಂತ ಬರಲ್ಲ. ಛಾಯಾ ಮೇಡಮ್ದು ಕತೆ ಕೇಳಿದೆ, ಅವತ್ತು ಅವ್ರು ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದ್ ದಿನ ನನಗೆ ಇನ್ಸ್ಪೈರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಅದನ್ನ ನೆನೆಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದ್ ದಿನ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ. So it is not that one role model or anything. You have to keep yourself motivated. As small as one fellow, he will work as a chef in my football. His journey is so inspiring. ಅವರು ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಶೃಂಗೇರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಟ್ಟಿ ಇನ್ನೆಲ್ಲೋ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೋ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು 20 ವರ್ಷ ಅಡಿಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಇವತ್ತು he is one of the highest paid in food box. And I'm sure he earns more than any software employee earns. So he is a role model for me, right? So inspiration lies within. Inspiration lies everywhere. You have to keep inspiring yourself and you have to be moving ahead.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir. I am Madhura from final year B.Com. And I want to know that how you are facing your competitors in this cyber industry.
Like I was saying that, why do you have to focus about failure? You will fail. Why do you have to focus about competition? ಜೀವನ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಹಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾನ, ಹಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾನ, ಅದ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾನ, ಇದ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾನ ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರಲ್ಲೇ ನನ್ನ ಟೈಮ್ ಹೊರಟೋಗುತ್ತೆ. Like she said, I think she would have seen one of my Instagram posts. Competition is like it is just about knowing about some competitors. You have to just invest on yourself, self development. ಇವಾಗ ನೀವೇನೋ ಇವತ್ತು ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ವಾ, ನಾಳೆ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. You have to work on yourself first. It is nothing competition. You have to take it in like competitors can get you more businesses actually. Say ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಯಾರ್ದೋ customers ಇದ್ರೆ, those customers will search such similar kind of businesses in your business and they will order from me also just to try. Because food is such subject, everybody wants to try. Everybody is a critic. So when they try, it is my capability to sustain that customer and I will do it. So this is, and even though I always tell you, I don't know, I'm not an MBA graduate or anything, but you know where I start a restaurant, even on the food box outlet is a Chamlipam circle. If you just go 1.5 kilometer stretch of that road, there are around 25 eating places. Aren't we doing well? We are doing well because we are giving them a very unique experience. Where yaru maadde iroduna we are giving them. One thing, if you're getting into any business, you have to know your audience. Our audience ಏನು ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗೋದ್ರೆ you will succeed in it.
Can I know the investment, how much you invested for the starting business?
No, I had no money.
I would like to answer your question in a different way. ಹೇಗೆ marketing your product ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, know your customer very well. Same way, know your competitor also very well. But caveat is, don't allow your competitor to grow. Don't face it. Don't challenge him. But don't allow your competitor to grow. Why? You have to grow. Over a period of time, you do certain things differently when compared to your competitor. So, competitor turnover reduces. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಬಾಗಿ ಮುಚ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ ಇಲ್ವಾ? So, in order for you to survive, you got to do it differently than your competitor. So that see the customer, what customer likes it, what product you supply to the customer, is it delight? Whether it is wow, when you buy certain things, ಎಷ್ಟು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ ಸೀರೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ ಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಅಂತ ಖರೀದಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಲ್ವಾ. Compared to thousands of pieces, you buy only one. ಯಾಕೆ? ಅಷ್ಟೇ. Customer also selects them. So competitor will die down, you survive. Don't allow your competitor to grow. ಅಷ್ಟೇ.
Hello, sir. I'm Akshaya. So my question is, you told that you wanted to do something different and creative, right? So what was the source for your creative in your field? Either you'll be having like demand and creativeness is what it's two factors required to survive in the business. So what was the source for your creativeness and your new ideas? How did you motivate yourself? How did you bring out creative ideas? What are the sources you use in order to improve your creativity?
Google it. Google it.
Apart from
Don't you use your Google, anything and everything, what you want to search?
every time I use Google.
Right.
But there are also many
Your creative ideas, where do you get? Creative ideas get there. Today you don't get in the textbook or your library. Your ideas, what is that? Even if you ask a wrong question, it'll ask you back, do you mean so? Salman?
Yeah, right.
Ask there. So anything and everything, even if you want an idea to prosper, idea is yours. Plan is yours. If you want to ask Google, please give me any idea. The idea of what? You should question that, correct? On this, I want an idea. I want on this, the process. I want on this, the procedure to do it. Everything will give, but you should have patience to learn. So ideas will come with your brain. When you use it, open up the brain. Don't claustrophobia. Always keep open. That's why always keep your antennas very high. Collect the information everywhere. What you can transform the information, what you received, into action, into production, into future. Build up your career. That's the way to move forward. There is nothing written down. Homework make kotarla. Nima lecturer. Voice to homework ಮಾಡಿ ಬಂದಿದ್ದ. ಇದು homework ಅಲ್ಲ. ಅಂದೇ ತಲೆ ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸಿ ಅಳವಡಿಸಿ ಮುಂದೆ ಸಾಗಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ.
Any other questions, please?
Hello, sir. I'm Megha Surya from final year BCom. My question is to Munli, sir. Sir, in a marketing sector, smart work is important or hard work is important?
Marketingally, smart work is very important. Same. I was just talking with ma'am just before we came. She was just asking me, Mysore is such a city where people even think twice to spend 20 rupees or 30 rupees. But even how are you sustaining? This is what I was telling her. Since I'm a Mysorean, I know how to connect with these people emotionally. So you have to work smart to know. You have to know your audience. You have to create plans. You have to work very smart. Here in Mysore, I haven't spent even single rupee on marketing. You know how we did? We just focused on word of mouth publicity. We just went to to everybody, gave food. We told them, if you really like it, just tell to phone other friends of yours. And now we are a big community. So you every day, see, I'm speaking about you. I'll get some other ideas now. You just ask something about marketing. Should I be smart? And again, while driving my car back, I'll just think, how smart should I be again to think? Should I put in very new ideas? So you have to be smart. When you start the work, only hard work comes in, right? First thinking happens. So first think, and then work comes in. And after you think this is very important, just do it. It's okay, because nobody knows ನೀರ್ ಇಳಿಯೋದಂತ ಅದ್ರ ಆಳ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲ್ಲ. So first you have to do it. ದಡದಲ್ಲ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಇದು ಇಷ್ಟ ಆಳ ಇದೆ ಅಷ್ಟ ಆಳ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ್ದೋ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಕೆರೆ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಕಾಲ್ ತನಕ ನೀರ್ ಬರ್ಬೋದು, ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು? So you have to start doing it. Then only you will get to know how low it is, right? So you have to start the work first.
Thank you, sir.
Hi sir, good afternoon. So, ನಂದೊಂದು simple and small question ಇದೆ, like people's mentality ಏನಾಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ to become an entrepreneur. So everyone thinks like, if they start with a small scale company ಅಥವಾ ಒಂದು ಅವ್ರದೇ ಒಂದು firm ತರ start ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, they are aiming like to become an Ambani. So it's not that they cannot. So the question is like, eager, andre word, if we see around us, ನಮ್ಮ word, ನಮ್ಮ competitors, and why should we look into competitors ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಹೆಂಗೆ, like how we have to get outshine from them ಅನ್ನೋದು ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು. So if at all we are looking all the perspectives ಅಂತಂದಾಗ, so people's mentality angle, like if I approach my friends itself, so ಬನ್ನಿ ನನ್ನ ಜೊತೆ ಜಾಯ್ನ್ ಆಗಿ I am starting a company, so you can be with my as a partner ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ they are thinking like ಇದು ಇದೇನಪ್ಪ like startup ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ so growth ಹೆಂಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. So they are thinking very much in a long run ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ to earn or to get settled ಅನ್ನೋ ರೀತಿ ನೋಡ್ತಾರೆ. So what is the best suggestion for this?
One thing you while you were telling you ಹೇಳುವಾಗ ಏನಂದ್ರು ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಟರ್ಸ್ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಔಟ್ಶೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಅಂತ. ನೀವು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿ ನೀವೇ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಇವಾಗ ಸೇ ಫುಡ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ಐ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಗಿವ್ ಯು ಒನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್. ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಇನ್ ಮೈಸೂರು. ಇವಾಗ ನಾನು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅದೇ ತರ 5 ಬಂತು 6 ಬಂತು, ಕೆಲವರು ನಮ್ಮ ಹೆಸರು ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಇನ್ನೇನೇನೋ ಹೆಸರು ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ಹೌದು ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಟರ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದಾರಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ಅನ್ಸಿದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸತಿ ಏನ್ ಅನ್ನಿಸ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾ, ಅಯ್ಯೋ ನಾನು ಇದನ್ನ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ ನಮ್ಮನೆಯವರೇ ನಂಬಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಇನ್ಯಾರೋ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅದನ್ನ 20 ಜನ ಕೆಲಸ ಕೊಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ದೊಡ್ಡದಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರಲ್ಲ. Right, that is one thing. You have to stay creative, right? ನೀವು start ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರ perspective ಇಂದ wrong ಇಲ್ಲ. Say you have an entrepreneur instinct, like sir was saying, that instinct, you have to do it. Just prove to others that they can join you. ನೀವು ಕೆಲಸ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ. Why do you need everybody to join and then only you can work? Why do you think that way? ಇವಾಗ ನಾನು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ there were nobody. ಯಾರು ಮನೇಲಿ ಯು ನಾಟ್ ಬಿಲೀವ್, ಮನೆ ಒಳಗೆ ಕಳ್ಳನ ತರ ಓಡಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೆ, ಒಂದಿನ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕೆಲಸ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ಯಾ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಡಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ nobody will believe, right? Whenever you are doing, you just prove to them that they are wrong, and then everybody will come to you. Everybody will ask you, how can I be indulgent with you with your work? So just do it and show them. This is what I'm saying. Do it and show them.
Okay, thank you sir.
ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಕ್ವಶನ್. ಎಲ್ಲರ ತಲೆಯಲ್ಲೂ ಅದೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಕೇಳಲ್ಲ. ನೀವು ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು ಇವಾಗ ನಿಮಗೆ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಎಂಟರ್ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಮನಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ಬನೇ ಶುರು ಮಾಡುವ ಬದಲು ಆ ಎಂಟರ್ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ಅನ್ನ, ಆ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಅಳವಡಿಸಿ ಗ್ಲೋಬಲ್ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕಾಗುತ್ತಾ ನೋಡಿ. ಲೈಕ್ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಲೈಕ್ ಎ ಕೂಪಮಂಡು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫ್ರಾಗ್ ಇನ್ ದ ವೆಲ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಫ್ರಾಗ್ ಇನ್ ದ ವೆಲ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಆ ಕಪ್ಪೆ ಎಣಿಸುತ್ತೆ, ನನ್ನ ಸಂಸಾರ ಇಷ್ಟೇ, ನನ್ನ ಭೂಲೋಕ ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಅಂತ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗತ್ತೋ ಇಷ್ಟು ದೊಡ್ಡದಿದೆಯೋ ಅಂತ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ತಯಾರು ಮಾಡೋ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಗೆ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ? ಮೈಸೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆಯೋ, ಬ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಳೂರ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆಯೋ, ಬಾಂಬೆನಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆಯೋ, ಕಲ್ಕಟ್ಟಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆಯೋ, ಜಪಾನ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆಯೋ, ಲಂಡನ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆಯೋ, ಅಮೆರಿಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆಯೋ? ಅದನ್ನ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡು. ಅದನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ವೇಳೆ ನೋಡಿ ನಾನು ಇದನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ, ಇಷ್ಟು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಇದೆ, ಒಂದು 5-6 ಜನ ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ ಹಾಕಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ನೀವು ಒಬ್ಬನೇ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಲ್ಲಾಡಿಸ್ತೀರ ಬಟ್ಟಿನ, ಇದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಲ್ಲಾಡಿಸ್ತೀರ, ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಸೇರಿದ್ರೆ ಮುಷ್ಟಿ ಆಗುತ್ತಿಲ್ವೋ? ಅದೇ ತರ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಕೂಡ ಇದು 5 ಜನ ಸೇರಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ಲಿಮಿಟೆಡ್ ಕಂಪನಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಒಬ್ಬ ಅಡ್ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ನೋಡ್ಕೊತಾನೆ, ಒಬ್ಬ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ನೋಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಒಬ್ಬ ಫೈನಾನ್ಸ್ ನೋಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಒಬ್ಬ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ನೋಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಒಬ್ಬ HR ನೋಡ್ತಾನೆ. 5 ಜನಕ್ಕೂ ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಸೇರಿಸಿ ಕಂಪನಿ ಅವರವರ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ರನ್ ಮಾಡಿಸಿ. ಈ ಪ್ರೊಪ್ರೈಟರ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನರ್ಶಿಪ್, ಸಾರಿ ಐ ಆಮ್ ನಾಟ್ ಬ್ಲೇಮಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್, ಬಟ್ ನಂತರ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕೊಡಲಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಡಿಪೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಮೇಕ್. If you have a product globally marketable, create that atmosphere now. Think big, not think small. Never think small. Think big. Plan it, process it. See, in manufacturing, there's a lean manufacturing, there's a Six Sigma, there's a black belt. All these processes are available. Use the digital technology to manufacture, digital technology for marketing, digital technology for accounts. ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಹೋಮ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಏನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅವರು? ಅದೇನೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬಾಸ್ ಕೂತಿರ್ತಾನೆ, ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಹೋಮ್ ಅಂತ 18 ಗಂಟೆ 18 ಗಂಟೆ ಅಡಿಕೆ ಮತ್ತು ಬಜಾರ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ see the future, go forward. So this is what enterprise when you think ಒಬ್ರು ಒಂದು ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನರ್ ಬರ್ತಾನೋ ಇಲ್ವೋ, ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡು. 130 ಕೋಟಿ ಜನಗಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ಭಾರತದಲ್ಲಿ. ಹುಡುಗಾಡಿ ಅವ್ರು ಗೂಗಲ್ ಇಟ್ಟಿಗೆ, you will get your person to join.
Sir, one more thing. So, ನಾನು ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಆ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳಿದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ currently I'm working in a company, Singapore based company work ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ. But like 5 to 6 months back, I started an institute, like institute ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಟೈ ಅಪ್ ಆಗಿ I am mentoring for cyber security. Cyber security ಗೆ I am training here only in Mysore. So ನನಗೆ actually one business approach ಕೂಡ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ. So it was successful approach as well. So Goa government ಗೆ I approached for a disaster recovery, and the only problem I faced was the team. So they asked me like why you are like alone ಅಥವಾ ನೀನು ಒಂದು ನಾನು 3 ಜನ ಹೋಗಿದ್ವಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ ನ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೆ. So why you are starting with only 3 members and why not you don't have a team ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತು. But here in Mysore the people's mentality mentality ಹೆಂಗಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ like the first question ಕೇಳಿದಂಗೆ, so they are looking for sudden growth ನೋಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. So is it good like if I approach in a classifieds or
ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ನೀವು ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಮೈಸೂರಿನವ್ರನ್ನ ಮಾತ್ರ, ಬ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಳೂರ್ನವ್ರನ್ನ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಯಾ, ಮಂಗಳೂರಿನವ್ರನ್ನ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಯಾ? ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅವರವರ ಜಾಗದಿಂದ ಅವರು ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ದೇ ವರ್ಕ್ ಸ್ಮಾರ್ಟ್ಲಿ. ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ನೋಟ್ ದಿಸ್. ಮೈಸೂರಿನವರು ಇವತ್ತು ಪೆನ್ಷನೈಸ್ ಪ್ಯಾರಡೈಸ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ ಎಂಟರ್ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಬೆಳೀತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮೈಸೂರಿನವರೇ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮೈಸೂರಿನವರು ಒಂದು ವೇಳೆ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿಗೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಬಾಂಬೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಮಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಗೊತ್ತಾ? ಹಾಗೇನೆ ಮಂಗಳೂರಿನವ್ರು ನೋಡು, ಚೆನ್ನೈನಿಂದ ನೋಡು, ಕೇರಳದಿಂದ ನೋಡು, because they work smartly here in Mysore. So unless until they are close friend of yours in Mysore, whom you know very well. Otherwise, I need a papa or a picture. So, as I rightly stated to go on, but there's one more suggestion for you. When you are working on cyber security, please work on blockchain. Tomorrow's technology is going to be blockchain. Entire government is going to function on blockchain. Entire banking system is going to work on blockchain. If you can develop blockchain today, no cyber security can break your blockchain. Have you heard of blockchain system?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Very good. So cultivate on blockchain, deliver that blockchain system to what you are doing it, and deliver to the complete nation. Everybody is going to have blockchain tomorrow. And it's going to come. Rules have been changed. Supreme Court has given order because of the Bitcoin and Bitcoin is working on the blockchain. So now blockchain is going to continue. Entire banking system blockchain bandadre. Bank navaru close ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. Watch and see.
I did the same mistake actually. I can very much relate. Even I did the same mistake. Though ours is a private limited company, what we did was I didn't build a team. So and about when we were like 3 years old or something, even I started approaching investors. This was the main point which came up. Where is your team? You cannot do it all alone. Where is your team, right? So it came up to me after 3 years, and I took that as a challenge. I built a team so that I realized what my expertise is, what this is, what that is. You've started now in say 3 or 6 months, and this is a challenge. Just accept it. Like sir said, there are 130 billion people. You will. I just focused on hiring the right people for various positions who could match my wavelength and work, and I got them. So I think if you focus right and you can even build a team and then approach all these things. Thank you.
Last one questions. Yeah.
So my question is to Munli sir. Chaya ma'am just mentioned that she faced a boom during the pandemic time because most of them they got conscious over organic food, and I guess even food box is completely organic because it's all home based. Most of the people they prefer home prepared food than these restaurants. Was it the same situation to you, or just like Swiggy and Zomato, did your business also face a little decline during the pandemic time?
Our online sales increased by 25% during COVID. So I mean, what we did was actually, another thing what I did was, my outlet was closed like any other hotels. My outlet was closed for almost 4 months. I didn't regret it. I thought, okay, this is a good time to bring some changes. Whatever I had done wrong, when we start again, it will be afresh. So I can do something new with the outlet, and then I just started on focusing on my online business. Okay, and then what else I did was I built a social media profile for Foodbox. If I don't know if you can check out Foodbox Mysuru page, we've got over 1 million views of all these videos, which we did it. So because of which we got new customers. And I mean, if there was some time like this, rather than to waste it, you can at least utilize to do something like this. If you haven't learned any one skill, be it like as simple as cooking some rice or something. If you haven't learned any one simple skill during COVID lockdown or something, I think we've all wasted our time. Yeah.
Chaya ma'am's to business, honey business ಯಾಕೆ ಇಂಪ್ರೂವ್ ಆಯ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ಯಾಂಡಮಿಕ್ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ 1 ಗ್ಲಾಸ್ ಬಿಸಿ ನೀರು ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಪೆಪ್ಪರ್ ಪೌಡರ್, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹಳದಿ, 1 ಸ್ಪೂನ್ ಹನಿ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಕೋವಿಡ್ ಹತ್ತಿರನೇ ಬರಲ್ಲ. ಡೈಲಿ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಇಟ್, ಟೇಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಮೀ. ಡೈಲಿ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಟೇಕಿಂಗ್ your coffee and tea, ಗ್ಲಾಸ್ ಬಿಸಿ ನೀರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಪೆಪ್ಪರ್, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹಳದಿ, 1 ಸ್ಪೂನ್ ಹನಿ. ಇದು ಪಬ್ಲಿಸಿಟಿ ಎಷ್ಟರ ತನಕ ಹೋಯ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಡಾಬರ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಪತಂಜಲಿದು ಹನಿ ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ಚರ್ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ನೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ, ಪ್ಯೂರ್ ಹನಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಡೂಮ್. So these are all opportunities in business. Should be quality consciousness should be there in everything.
Sir, actually, for honey, what I have seen is you get to know whether the honey is pure. Obviously, it won't be 100% pure, but you get to know its purity content when you put it in water. In case you get the same honeycomb design when you put it in water, it shows that it has at least 85% purity. That is how I normally purchase my honey brands. What shocked me was, ma'am said they changed organic. People became organic conscious, but looking at all these Patanjali things, even they portray it as being organic.
You have not fully read the report of World Bank what they gave. Chinese had manufactured similar like from the sugar and from the jaggery, similar like honey. So if you mix it in the honey, you can't make out. So a normal test cannot find out it is a mixture, not pure honey. It is only when it is tested internationally in some lab, I forgot the name of the country, Germany, when it's tested, they tested and found out it is a China-made honey mixed. China-made is not natural, it is artificial. Like China-made eggs came, China-made rice came, China-made virus also came. So be careful.
My question to you, sir. You are closely working with the present governments.
Let them hear. They will take the mic.
My question is to Dr. Jacob, sir. You are closely working with the Prime Minister and the present government, and you have a very good relationship. You are from lecturer to become an entrepreneur. And why can't we recommend or suggest for them a university for startup?
It is already there, sir. Bill is already going to be passed in the parliament. There is going to be a MSME university. Dr. Charan Singh was working earlier in this of mine. Charan Singh is heading that. There is one university going to be in Delhi, one university going to be in Bangalore. This is called MSME University. But per se, when you say university, so-called branded 100 universities internationally. Do we have a single university here in our country? Like Harvard University or the Oxford University? Do we have one university? Why? Because we are not geared up to that level. See, it is only the Narasimha Rao government had a separate education fund. Only Narasimha Rao, when he was the HR minister. Just imagine. Earlier, there was no fund available for education. It only thanks to Christian mission. Sorry, Gopal, I'm not boasting myself. The Christian mission who came from Portuguese and Europe, they started school and convent school, and even today, ministers and IAS officers children want to learn only from a convent school. Why? Because they started 400, 600 years back. They started in every village or every city, every town. So this is called convent school because that's the reason why government did not have any funds for education as a budget. Today, at least Nirmala Sitharaman, when she gave a budget of 1st of February, she has allotted now more than 3.5 lakhs crores for education. So now the university is going to be combined and they are going to be universities are going to be acclaimed as like a Harvard University or Oxford University. So it is going to come. Watch for that. Of course, maybe during the time of your children, our education may come and qualify that. Thank you, sir.
Thank you all. Now we have reached to the end of the program. I call upon Janvi Ashok of final year BBA to propose the vote of thanks.
I, Janvi Ashok of final year BBA, take this opportunity to render oath of thanks on this occasion. First and foremost, I thank our guest, Dr. Jacob Krista, founder and chairman, CM Enviro System Private Limited, chairman, Elsewhere Eco Products Private Limited, for blessing us. Thank you. Thank you. I thank our guest, Mr. Munli, founder and promoter of Footbox, for joining us today. Thank you, sir. Once again, I thank all the dignitaries for joining us today in spite of their busy schedule. I thank Mrs. Soumya Idapake, Principal of Sheshadipuram Degree College, for organizing this program. Thank you, ma'am. My heartfelt thanks to the teaching and non-teaching staff for their continuous support. Thank you all. I thank our alumni for joining us today. Thank you all. Last but not the least, I thank my friends for their cooperation in making this seminar memorable one. Thank you all.